Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered. We're doing another weapon video. Today it's for one that I have not seen a lot of people request at all, so I figured I'd just do one that I wanted to do, which was the top 10 best maces in the game. So if you're familiar with the series, you know exactly what to expect, but in short, we go through the entire game and take the top 10 best maces based on their damage output. A lot of that has to do with physical damage, but in the case of like unique or collectible items or quest rewards, sometimes I take into account how effective the enchantments are for them. And I oftentimes will discuss how I think they look, but that usually doesn't affect the ranking except in a last resort tiebreaker. So with that being said, let's dive on in and start off with number 10. So at number 10 we have the Mage's Mace, which is a unique enchanted version of the Elven Mace. So you can see we have it equipped there. This one has a base damage of 22 for the damage output physically speaking, but it also has a bunch of enchantments. So you can see the effects on there. We have Absorb Alchemy on strike, Absorb Alteration on strike, Absorb Conjuration on strike, Absorb Destruction on strike, Absorb Illusion on strike, Absorb Mysticism on strike, and Absorb Restoration on strike. I had to go into special things. So each one of those is 5 points for 15 seconds. So it's a lot. So if you want to keep your magic or be able to take magic from someone else and absorb it, it's very useful for that. So the Mage's Mace is a fairly good one, especially when fighting any sort of enemy that deals magic damage, especially spellcasters. And so it's especially good, at least in my opinion, as a one for a hybrid or a battle mage type build. As far as getting your hands on this one, it's a one-time random chest. So in the Cheydinhal Mages Guild living quarters, there's a locked boss chest with a 50% chance of a level 10 plus, or at level 10 plus, to spawn the Mage's Mace. Save outside the cell, pick the lock, check, then wait 3 days to reset if you strike out. So, that's how you can get your hands on this one. It's at the Cheydinhal Mages Guild. It's not every single time, so like I said, before you go in there and open it up, just save. And that way you can, just save scum to try over and over and over again until you get it, as long as you save outside of the cell. So that's the Mage's Mace at number 10. Let's move on to number 9. At number 9, we have another legendary unique variant of the Elven Mace, and this one is Calliben's Grim Retort. So you can see base damage on this one is 22, just like the last one, but we have different enchantments on this one. This one comes with Absorb Blunt on strike, 8 points for 20 seconds, Absorb Strength on strike, 5 points for 20 seconds, and Frost Damage on strike for 10 points. So that's why I put it above the last one. As far as getting your hands on this one, it is part of the City Quest Unfriendly Competition. The quest giver for this is Jensen at Good as New in the Imperial Market District of the Imperial City. You have to shadow the grave robber Agarmir to the Trentius family mausoleum on Green Emperor Way. After the fight, grab this mace, which will be hidden behind the Calliben Trentius's coffin, and you can do this quest at any level to get it. So that is how you do it. It is part of that mission in the Imperial City, and that's number 9. Let's move on to number 8. Coming in at number 8, we have the Ebony Mace, which is the first of our basic loot drop maces on this list. So this one has a base damage of 26, when of course your stats are maxed out and you have it at 125 condition. As far as appearances go, it's an ebony weapon, so I always like it. Ebony has some of the best designed weapons in the game. As far as why I placed it at number 8, other than just the base damage, it's 3 points below Daedric, but it spawns 5 levels earlier, and it swings faster, so it's the early power leveler's friend. When it comes down between Ebony and Daedric, oftentimes I'll edge towards Ebony because A, I think they look better, but B, they also, because they're lighter, they swing better, and they don't have that much less damage. So the Ebony Mace is a solid weapon, and of course it's unenchanted, so you can enchant it however you see fit. As far as how to get this one, all you have to do is get your character to level 15, and then just go and clear bandit or marauder forts, such as Fort Nickel, which is west of the Imperial City, and then of course the best way to try and find it there is going to be in the boss chest, which refreshes every 3 in-game days, so all you have to do is save and reload until an Ebony Mace appears. So it's fairly simple to get it in that method. Otherwise, just once you get to level 15, kill lots of bandits and marauders, and you're likely to pick one up. So that's number 8. Let's move on to number 7. At number 7, we have the Daedric Mace, which has the highest non-unique base damage, so it's perfect for custom enchantment setups before sigil stones start dropping. So this one is 29 for base damage, so like I said, just a couple points above the Ebony Mace. I think it looks alright. As far as Daedric weapons go, the Mace is probably one of their best designed one. It has the least elements that annoy me, but yeah, this one is just the same as any other basic loot option. You can enchant it however you want, and if you have your character maxed skill-wise and you're at 125 condition, this one will have 29 damage. As far as how to get your hands on the Daedric Mace, This one is going to be similar to the Ebony one. It's going to be a farming method. As far as the fastest way to do it, or at least the most reliable way, it would be once you're at level 20, you enter any open Oblivion Gate, and then kill Dremora Kinvalls or Kinreeves on the first rampart. Their weapon pool is 100% Daedric at that level. So that's probably the best and fastest way to do it. Otherwise, Kvatch's permanent gate is a convenient option if you left it open. So if you don't have the Daedric, or the Oblivion Gates, I should say, if you don't still have them open, if you've already completed the main quest, then all you have to do is go around and kill any enemy that's likely to carry a mace once you've reached level 20, because then there's a chance that they will carry it. However, it's much more reliable to just go to a Oblivion Gate. So hopefully before you complete the main quest, you've ground out all of the Daedric armor and weapon pieces from there, because, you know, that's the easiest way to get them. But that's number 7. Let's move on to number 6. At number 6, we have the Mace of Order, which you can see stat-wise is the same as the Daedric Mace, so we're sitting there at 29 for our base damage, and it is also unenchanted, so just like the Daedric or Ebony Mace, you can enchant it however you see fit. So as far as a late-game enchantment build goes, the Mace of Order is a great option for that. As far as getting your hands on the Mace of Order, this one is fairly simple and straightforward. It's part of the Deluxe Edition quests, a Wound in Time and Saving Time itself. So the quest giver for these quests is Elav Dralgoner, who is a priest that you can find on the road outside of Kvatch, near the refugee camp. And all you have to do these missions and then get access to this weapon is to clear the Aelid rune Beldabaro, defeat the Lich Corellian, and then talk to Elav again and select equipment and then order weapons. And the Mace of Order is one of those weapons that you can select. So it's pretty easy to get your hands on this one. I did it right away at the beginning of the game, and you can always do it again later if you want. Not the missions, but just go claim more weapons from him. But it's on par with the Daedric Mace as far as stats go, and appearance-wise, I think it looks better. So that's why I placed it ahead of the Daedric Mace. So that is number 6. Let's move on to number 5. Bringing up the halfway point at number 5, we have the Mace of Cataclysm, which is stat-wise same as the Daedric Mace and the Mace of Order. So you can see we have 29 damage on this one. Like them, it's also unenchanted, so fairly solid. The only reason I placed it ahead of those two is because out of the 3, I think it probably looks the best. It's hard to say for sure, but that's kind of what my gut was telling me. As far as getting your hands on this one, it's pretty easy, just like the Mace of Order. So this is also part of the Deluxe Edition for the remaster. So the quests that you have to do to get your hands on this one are Burning Trail and then the Crimson Cave. So you can start by reading the Mythic Dawn note that you can find on a barrel by the dragon statue in Talos Plaza in the Imperial City. And then you just finish the 2 dungeon quests, and you will learn a spell called Summon Mehrunes Harbinger. Then all you have to do is conjure him, and you can do that literally anywhere or at any time, and pick the Cataclysm weapons from his reward menu. And the Mace of Cataclysm is one of those. So like I said, it's pretty easy, and you can do this at any point. You start it in the Imperial City by reading the note, and then you just do 2 short missions. So that's the Mace of Cataclysm. If you want to do an endgame weapon, like with a huge absorb health or fire damage or something like that, enchantment on it, this one is one of the 3 best options for that. So that's number 5. Let's move on to number 4. At number 4, we have the Rockshatter, which is a rare one for these videos. It's a variant of a dwarven weapon, so we don't oftentimes get a enchanted unique variant of a dwarven weapon making the top 10, so this was very exciting. But this one is pretty dang solid. So it just looks like a regular dwarven mace. It has 29 for the damage though, which is pretty exciting, and it has some enchantments on it. So it's got shock damage on strike for 20 points, and then weakness to shock on strike for 35% for 20 seconds. So obviously that stacks, both of those effects stack with each other. So instead of doing 29 points, you're effectively doing 49 points, but the more you hit, the more weakness the person has against shock, so the more effective that shock becomes. So the Rockshatter is a very, very effective weapon, even into the extremely late game. So very exciting there. And like I said, very rare that we get a dwarven weapon that's, you know, effective in the late game. As far as how to get your hands on this one, it is a side quest called When the Vow Breaks. The quest giver is Maeva the Buxom, who you can find at the Whitman Farm, which is just outside of Anvil. So it's the farm just north of the Anvil Gate. And as far as getting this and keeping it, the mission has you track her runaway husband, and that will take you to Fort Strand. All you have to do is go through Fort Strand, kill him, and loot Rockshatter from him, because he'll have it on him. And then when you go to finish the quest, you can you have to keep the mace if you want to keep it. Otherwise, by default, at the end of the mission, you will be giving her Rockshatter. And if you do give it to her, don't worry, you could just kill her and pick it up and then have it. Either that or you could pickpocket it, but then it'll have the stolen status until you sell and buy it back. So as far as getting this one and keeping it, it's pretty simple. I'll tell you what I did. I did the mission, and then I killed her, and then I took it. So that's how I kept Rockshatter, but that's number 4. Let's move on to number 3. Coming in at number 3, we have a legendary variant of the Daedric Mace called Hatred's Heart. So this one has the same base damage as a Daedric Mace at 29, but this one has enchantments on it from the start, 2 of them. So we have fire damage on strike, 35 points for 1 second, and drain speed on strike, 30 points for 45 seconds. So this one is very effective. Obviously, just stacking the 29 physical and the 35 points of fire damage is super duper effective, but then you're also draining their speed, so they're, not great at running away or maneuvering around you or anything like that. So it is a super effective weapon. As far as getting your hands on Hatred's Heart, this one is a main quest side loot. So during the quest Dagon Shrine, you infiltrate Lake Arrius Caverns, and before escaping, you have to open the forbidden chest in the shrine's inner sanctum. The mace is always inside of that chest. As far as if you accidentally missed it, so let's say you already did that mission, there is a 1 in 7 chance World Seed placed in the later random Oblivion Gates. Fort Such's Gate is the most reliable scroll reroll spot. So if you did that mission already and you didn't pick it up, it has a 1 in 7 chance of being placed in one of the highest loot chests in random spawning Oblivion Gates. So that's your best bet after that. But the smartest way would just be to grab it during Dagon Shrine. So that is number 3. Let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2, we have the Mace of the Crusader, which is very cool. I love the way this one looks. It's probably my favorite looking one on the entire list, and it has excellent stats. So this one has 1 point more than the last several we've looked at. This one has 30 points of physical damage, but it also has 2 enchantments on it, and this one has 14 points of fire damage on strike for 2 seconds and turn dead on strike for 5 seconds. So fairly solid weapon, especially against undead enemies, but, very, very effective against pretty much everyone. As far as getting your hands on this one, the Mace of the Crusader can be obtained through the Knights of the Nine chain, and the quest in specific is the Blessing of Talos. So if you want to start this, you can start by listening to the prophet outside of the Anvil Chapel. That will complete the... and then you have to complete the mission Pilgrimage. The quest giver for this specific quest is going to be Sir Thedret in the Priory of the Nine, which can be found southeast of Skingrad. The steps to getting this are to assemble all 8 other Crusader relics, then you have to fight through the Chapel of Stendarr in Coral. The mace appears on the high altar once the Aurorans have all fallen. So if you want to get your hands on this one, you have to make it all the way through the Knights of the Nine chain until Blessing of Talos, and then finish that dungeon, and it will appear on the altar. So the Mace of the Crusader is a pretty serious weapon. I love the way it looks, and its stats are fantastic. So that's number 2. Let's move on to our best one at number 1. And of course at number 1, we have the Mace of Molag Bal. What other mace could possibly be the number 1 spot? So this one has the same damage as the Mace of the Crusader, being at 30, making it just slightly better than the Daedric level artifacts that we've already looked at. This one also has some basic enchantments: Absorb Strength on strike, which is 5 points for 10 seconds, and Absorb-Magicka on strike, which is 5 points for 10 seconds. So pretty solid base damage, and then of course the extra 50 points of absorbing strength and magicka makes it very, very effective, especially for a hybrid battle mage or, mace/magic type build, which is fairly common. So very, very solid as far as that's concerned. As far as getting your hands on the Mace of Molag Bal, this one is part of the Daedric quest Molag Bal, which is fairly simple and straightforward. You'd think that would be what it's from. The quest giver is the Shrine's Worshippers, and you can find them at Molag Bal's Shrine, which is northeast of Skingrad. The prerequisites to getting this one is you have to be level 17 plus, and you have to bring a lion pelt offering. So make sure when you go to the shrine, if you want to start the quest, you bring a lion pelt with you. Then all you have to do is accept Molag Bal's cursed mace, travel to Brindleholm, provoke Melis Petilius until he kills you with it, then report back for the real artifact, and then you have it. So that is the Mace of Molag Bal, which is the number 1 best mace in Oblivion Remastered. And that is all of our top 10, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any disagreements, or if I said anything that's incorrect and you want to correct me, let me know down in the comment section below. Otherwise, have a nice day and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.